Something magical is happening in the oven right now. Golden, crispy, cheesy perfection in the making. Can you smell that buttery garlic goodness already? Just look at that cheese pull. This isn't just any garlic bread. This is the kind that melts in your mouth. Soft and fluffy on the inside, soaked in rich garlicky butter. This is the ultimate comfort food. Want to make the best cheese garlic bread? Let's do this. Alright, let's start with the foundation of this soft, fluffy garlic bread, our yeast mixture. Here I've got 225 milliliters of milk, not too hot, not too cold, just the perfect room temperature for our yeast to do its magic. Next, we're adding 30 grams of sugar. This isn't just for sweetness, it's like a little snack for the yeast. Now I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of instant dry yeast, about 4.5 grams. Just sprinkle it in, give it a good mix, and that's it. If you're using active dry yeast, remember, you need to activate it first. But with instant dry yeast, nope, no waiting. Just mix and move on. It's that simple. Now let this sit while we move on to the next step, because this garlic bread is about to be soft, fluffy, and absolutely irresistible. Alright, now let's move on to the dry ingredients. Here, I'm using 300 grams of bread flour. This gives our dough that perfect soft texture. Sifting the flour, yep, it's a small step, but trust me, it makes a big difference. Light, fluffy, and no lumps in sight. But if you're using all-purpose flour, no worries. Just remember, all-purpose absorbs less liquid than bread flour, so you might need to slightly reduce the liquid later. Next, add 5 grams of salt, just 1 teaspoon. Now, give it a good mix, whether it's with a whisk, a spatula, or just your hands. At this stage, we're just making sure everything's evenly combined before we bring in the wet ingredients. Alright, now that our dry mix is ready, let's move on. Now, slowly pour that beautiful yeast mixture into the flour and watch as everything starts coming together, forming the foundation of the softest, fluffiest bread you'll ever make. At first, it's a little messy, a little sticky, but trust me, this is where the transformation starts. So once everything is well combined, it's time to take it to the working table. Alright, time for a little workout. Dust your tables lightly, take a deep breath, and let's knead. Think of it as a stress reliever. Push, fold, turn, and repeat. But if you don't feel like getting your hands messy today, no problem. If you're using a dough machine, start on low speed, just to let everything combine, then gradually increase to low-medium. Now, whether you're using your hands or a mixer, the first knead should be around 3 to 4 minutes. Then, add soft butter. This butter is going to make our dough silky smooth, giving us that rich texture. Now, how long you knead depends on how strong you are. If you're doing this by hand, get ready for a little arm workout. At least 15 minutes of good, solid kneading. If using a machine, let it run until your dough turns soft, smooth, and elastic. And here's the moment of truth, the window pane test. Stretch a small piece of dough, and if it turns thin and translucent without tearing, congratulations, you've nailed it. Alright, time to let this beauty rest and rise, and trust me, the wait is going to be so worth it. Alright, if it's wintertime and your kitchen feels cold and dry, don't worry. I've got the perfect trick to help your dough rise beautifully. Here's what you do. Place your dough inside a switched-off oven or microwave. Next, take a glass of hot water and place it right next to the dough. This simple trick creates the perfect warm, humid environment, just like a cozy little dough spa. It might sound simple, but trust me, this little hack makes a big difference. Your dough will rise faster, smoother, and fluffier. While our dough is rising, let's move on to the garlic butter mixture that's going to take this bread to the next level. First up, take 2 tablespoons of garlic paste. Next, add 50 grams of soft butter, and trust me, the softer, the better. This is what makes every bite rich. Now for a little kick, 1 teaspoon of chili flakes. It's totally optional, But if you love that hint of spice, this is your best friend. A few chopped parsley leaves, not just for color, but for that fresh herby balance that cuts through the richness beautifully. And of course, salt to taste. Now, mix it all up until you get a smooth creamy. Oh, and if you ever want to make your own garlic paste, it's super easy. Just cook some garlic in oil until soft and then blend it into a silky smooth puree. That's it. Alright, garlic butter paste also ready. Our dough is rising beautifully. Now let's bring everything together and make perfect cheese garlic bread. Look at this beautiful dough. It's soft, pillowy, and full of air. Now it's time for a little punching to release the air. Now dust your table lightly, just enough to keep the dough from sticking. Then transfer your dough to the working table. Time to roll. Grab your rolling pin and gently roll out the dough. We're aiming for a smooth, even surface so that every bite is pure garlic, butter, and cheese bliss. Now, here's where the magic happens. Spread that rich, garlicky butter all over. No empty spots allowed. Make sure every inch is covered, because this is what gives our bread that deep, irresistible flavor. And of course, cheese. Go crazy. Be generous, because more cheese means more happiness. Layer it right on top of that garlic butter so every bite is pure, cheesy perfection. One by one, stack those layers like a delicious tower of garlic and cheese. Trust me, it's going to be epic once it bakes. Now, carefully place them into your bread mold, snug but not too tight. As they bake, they'll rise beautifully. Now it's time to let our beautiful dough proofing. Just one more hour. Cover it up gently, give it some time and let it do its thing. And just like that, look at this. Soft, puffy, and absolutely gorgeous. It's alive and ready to bake. Now preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. But wait, before we bake, let's take that garlic butter and brush it gently over the top. And now into the oven it goes. 30 minutes of patience and soon your kitchen will smell like a dream. And there it is. Just look at this masterpiece. Golden crispy on the outside, soft and fluffy on the inside, with melted garlic butter in every single layer. Can we just take a moment for this cheese pull? Oh yes, this is the kind of garlic bread that makes you forget everything else. That first bite, absolute heaven. Buttery, garlicky, cheesy, everything you want in the perfect cheese garlic bread. If you love this recipe, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because there's so much more deliciousness coming your way. Try this recipe and let me know in the comments. How did it turn out for you?